Do I get an engineer or no?
Everyone except Cyborg. Crispy, you get it.
See how big is doing on time. I have a timer going for 15 minutes, so we'll just see at that point. We'll call live when it comes closer, or what time is.
Do we have a full on?
I think we're gonna be -3.
-3 per side or -3 overall?
-3 overall. Someone's gonna have like 2 and one's gonna have like 1.
We all have rallies down now, so you can turn off the bowling salad.
What's the key for that? For admin?
Sorry, I can turn it off.
Okay, thank you. It's always valid placement, right? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So,
We're coming up with 10 minutes on the clock, so I think we're gonna try and push for 7:35. You guys kind of cool with that? We can always flex if not.
Yeah, we should be good with that.
Okay.
Just waiting on the puppies to join. Alright, so whenever you guys are ready, sort out kits, spawn in your guys. So, since I'm in charge of the fob and all that stuff, I'm gonna actually split up some of my squad. So, 2 of my guys is gonna be along with 1 a little bit. 2 is gonna be with 4, 2 is gonna be with 3, and then 3 people is gonna be around me.
No, we have to stay
It's
within
just
the
the
zone.
sector. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because the fob we cannot place until live.
Yeah, it's Juju.
We'll figure out where exactly he's announced, and then
We're Alpha.
we'll work things
We're
out.
Alpha. Copy.
Sure,
Almost
guys.
getting hostile, so
So
we're
you guys
almost
are
ready.
ready?
Yeah,
We'll
let's do
spread out
system.
to
You guys stick with me
wherever
while
you'd like.
the engineers stick together.
There's no bidding until live.
Sal, I just want to make sure I'm not out of position. I thought he said the rally.
So we're gonna be over here.
Yeah, Dorf's working. Some people trying to get him in. So I don't know if he's really checking on his team. But I think he did relay the message, and I told Dorf, so we should get. I'll message Dorf and see where we're at.
Alright guys, I let the admin know we're all set, so whenever they call live time, we're
Hello everybody and welcome to our Wednesday Squad Ops event. It is September 19th and tonight we bring to you Operation Black Ice. I am your commentator for the evening, ShadowedRitual. How's it going everybody? I see Clayton already said hey what's up, and everybody else who is just now joining us. We're in for an exciting event on the map Belaya. I'll call it Belaya. And before we go into what the operation is about, we'll go ahead and go over who is in charge of this operation. For the U.S. team, we have platoon leader Storm with his squad leads Colonel Cyborg Clone, HML, It's Crispy, and Assault. For the Russians, we have platoon leader Dorf with his squad leads Phoenix, Nasty Nate, Hero, and Sugarheart. So a lot of experience on both sides. I'm not seeing a lot of new faces. I think Colonel Cyborg Clone might be the newest person here, and even I think he is upwards of 4 or 5 ops at this point. So and definitely both of the platoon leaders are very experienced and have their own style of leading. And we should be in for a good operation. We have a live time of 7:35, so just about 2.5 minutes for me to go over this operation and what it is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the map really quick. And it is a attack and defend operation. The U.S. are tasked with setting up a patrol base in one of these 3 spots, A, B, or C. They have chosen the C location. I'll pull up the map after I drop this map. They have chosen the C location on the bottom right-hand side. And essentially they are paratroopers. I believe they are paratroopers who are behind enemy lines, and they've set up an operating base, and they are waiting for more supplies to be dropped in. So their assets include, for the U.S., 2 automatic riflemen, 1 light anti-tank, 1 medic, and 4 engineers for the platoon. They also get a random supply drops between 1 and 4 Logi trucks. They get a patrol base with 1 radio, 2 HMGs, 1 mortar, and sandbags and wire only. No Heska wall, so only sandbags and wire. The Russians get 2 automatic riflemen, 1 medic, 2 MGs, the medium machine guns, 2 breachers. They also get, for vehicles, they get 2 trans trucks, and 1 MTLB with the KVPT on top. They do not get a fob to place things down.
Team over to the rocks that you've already got a buddy team on. Do you want to move those guys off, or do you want me to
All
move
right.
my guys?
So one of the unique things about this operation is the supply drops, as mentioned with the U.S. assets. They get between 1 and 4 supply drops. The times that they are dropped are depends on the dice roll that has been rolled by our event admin Bam, who just died. So they've rolled a 1d6 to determine how soon into the operation they can start dropping supplies, and it can be anywhere as soon as 5 minutes after the operation and as late as 20 minutes after the operation has started, after live time, so after 7:35 in about 30 seconds. I've been informed that the die roll was 3, which means it will be dropped 10 minutes after live. So after live, 10 minutes, they will start dropping supplies. Where the supplies can be dropped after live is also determined by a die roll. And the first drop is a 5, and that is going to be west of the control point. So it's going to be on this west side of the objective, probably near the road. And I will inform you as the rest of the drops come in. I have them here. And we'll see how the U.S. plan to use these supply drops. If it's off of the point, if it's off of the fob, which will be placed here live now, if it's off the fob, they can only resupply off of them. And I think Storm has said that he wants to resupply his light anti-tank roll.
Thank you, Chris.
So he's going to prioritize reloading those guys. But if it's on the point, he's going to be able to put down some defenses and things like that. Snow camo or not. The Uni Hunter, I don't think we have snow camo. It is a new camo. If you look at this is not the normal camo that you see in our vanilla gameplay. This is using the Squad Ops mod. I don't know exactly what the name of this camouflage is, but it's definitely a lot more green, and it'll help them blend in a little bit better than the desert camo, I'd say. And then, of course, the Russians already have like 3 different camo. The M81 Woodland. Alright, I'm gonna take your word for it, Yuri.
Oh, you're engineer, yeah.
And we are live. And so, before live, Storm told his squad leads to brief individually, and he's basically gonna have a 3-pronged defense with Squad 1 in the north, Squad 3 in the east, Squad 4 on the west, southwest, and then he's gonna have Squad 2 holding the point proper. But it's a weird like oblong shape. I don't know if that's the correct term, but he's gonna use basically the road as a catching point and force the Russians to cross that.
Remember to get your engineers to drop their
The
mines.
Russian defense we didn't actually get to hear, but they're gonna be spotted relatively quickly as we've got Hype, that's his name, Hype and Bump move forward to set up
Do you have eyes on where they're
a
moving
mine.
to assault?
I thought and Hype and Bump are already spotted. Hype's gonna go down here as he's been shot. Thought resupplying was forbidden ops. Exped pointed out some ops allow, some don't. In this operation, we allow for the resupply just for that little extra bit of variation in them. Hype and Bump, I don't figure are gonna be long for this world as they've been spotted almost immediately. And if we look at their escape route, it's uphill. There's no way they're going to make it out. They're just going to have to stay prone here, as Bump is saying. He's an FTL too. Who's got the main shots on him? It's Mr. Moneyman. Dwarf has it. Atomic Peach. And the squad's going to continue to flank. He's going to let the smoke develop, and we'll see if they can make it out of here. I don't think they're going to make it out of here. They're going to have to just lay low and hope they can try and get out.
Okay, just keep crawling, keep crawling. I might die doing this, but keep crawling. Crawl uphill.
Play dead. Expert says play dead. The HMO's not gonna have any of it. I'm getting out of here. The smoke is actually providing quite a decent screen. I don't think they're gonna be able to see them until it's too late. No, they should be able to see them over the blue smoke at this point. Or they're gonna make it over the crest. They made it out. It looks like they're gonna make it out.
They're firing multi-Rs out of Gulf 9-7 onto our position.
Copy that. What happened to assault?
He got cut down from that grid square. at least 2 full squads.
assault went down in that engagement. So Russians are up 1 kill, up 1 squad, or down 1 squad lead. Very unfortunate for them. I didn't realize that assaults had come out this far with them to place this mine. This was their objective right here. They didn't even get to dig it down. They came and they dropped a mine and they tried to exfil. Let's see where the Russians have their MTLB. Their MTLB is going to come in from the east side, so I don't think this mine is even going to be an issue. For the Russian movement, we've got Squad 2 on the far west, going to push south. I assume they're going to try for a southwest push. Squad 3 following right behind them, probably going to approach from that same angle. And Squad 1 and 5 approaching from this northwest. Really drawing attention. I'm telling them not to stop peeking, let them come to them. They're going to try and use this road, or they should try and use this road as a catching point. Force the Russians to cross this road, because there's a lot of open ground, and especially running uphill like this, not a lot of cover as they try and come through. 10 minutes after live is when they're going to start dropping points. In about 4 minutes, we're going to start getting our first supply drop, and it's going to be on this west side. We'll see exactly. The event admins have discretion on exactly where on the west they're going to put it, but I assume it's going to be somewhere along this this road. Maybe close to these guys, maybe on this dirt road. But again, we will see what the event admins choose to do. So far, the Russians are up 1 kill. But it's still anybody's game. A Bump is a very capable fire team lead, and he's in fact squad led several times. So it's not as if they are leaderless. Bump and Hype, instead of retreating all the way back, have chosen to take up position in this. I believe this is outpost on the actual lair, the invasion lair, blah. And okay, they're gonna pull back. I was gonna say this is too predictable of a spot for them to play in. They're gonna send some Russians if they come through this way. They're gonna send some Russians to clear this area out, and 2 against the full Russian platoon is not gonna do much good unless Hype and Bump go Rambo. Hype is gonna get his next mine down.
Bury it. Oh, too late.
Too late. Sorry.
Yep. No, that's fine. That's
Bury it.
fine.
Make sure you bury it, because it's worthless unburied. There you go. Let's go.
Bury it. This is for our operations. As long as this red dot is spotted or is not like hidden by anything, it's a good mine, and that is a good mine. It blends into this dirt very, very well. So see if the Russians decide to or manage to run it over. Let's go fly over and see what the Russian MTLB crew is looking like, which is crewed by Squad 4. Squad 4 got a full squad? Nope, it's crewed by Phoenix. He's leading the squad, and we'll see where they decide to put this MTLB. The MTLB, I approve of Dwarf's decision not to put it with his platoon, because if you hear just how loud it is, right here, just me above it, like it is just deafening, and there's no way to be sneaky with an MTLB. It's just a giant tin can that's a target. Phoenix is not going to be gunning. A lot of times you see these squad leads take the lead crewman role, and then send his platoon with using their fire teams to sort of lead it. And I like that Phoenix is not going to take one of those spots. Not exactly take, but allow his squad to man the vehicle on their own. Maybe he just really doesn't want to be in this loud ass shitbox. Where they decide to come. They're probably going to perch up on this hill, like right about here, I'd say, and start trying to lay down fire. With our Squad Ops mod, all of the vehicles have a reduced zoom, so he doesn't have the full like 3 or 4 times zoom that the KVPT MTLB would usually have. It's more like a 1.5, maybe 2 times zoom. So it's a little harder to see, but it's still quite deadly. It just forces them to get a little bit closer and become susceptible to the light anti-tank that the has. There's going to be a few more minutes of maneuvering from the Russian platoon as they position themselves for their assaults. And I should mention that the Russians know the general area where the U.S. are coming. That's why they had started heading straight for the sea point. That is their reasoning for being in the area. They have got word of a U.S. patrol base in the area, and that's what they're moving to clear out. Who shot me and how? So you got shot by the full Russian platoon. You ran up on 3 squads, and they just laid fire. It's hard to tell who actually killed you. Well, actually, it's not hard to tell because they're gonna kill. It's Sunny who got you. But it's very you were surrounded by almost 3 sides whenever they did spot you. It's a miracle that Bump and Hype actually managed to get out of there. As they fall all the way back to hook up with this
current grid is Golf 944.
Golf 944.
Yeah, I'm being engaged.
Copy that. We have a logi drop by your guys' fort. I need you to secure that very quickly.
Appreciate it.
Luca, event password. I'm not going to be able to tell you the event password, but if you join the pre-op channel and sit tight, enjoy the stream for this first round, you may be able to join in for the second round. As most, not a lot. Sometimes people can't be there for both rounds, and we will have droppers, and then the event admins will be able to pull you in.
Yeah, enemy squad is spread out north that police structure.
Copy that.
The event has been dropped. In range. Can't drive it. They can definitely drop these points.
Negative. It's not inland.
Not
Just
in
get the
line.
guys out of there, then.
Can't drive it, friend.
They cannot move that logi.
Yeah, immediately gets told they can't drive it.
Move that logi forward.
It is a supply drop. I assume sometime in the near future, when our mod team gets the time, we'll actually get to get like a supply drop with like a. I know the D had been working on a parachute, and it would be cool to see like a crate of supplies with like a parachute off to the side that has like blown away and things like that. That would be a neat little. Soon TM Expit says. Expit is in charge of our mod team, and he's done some great work with our Squad Ops mod and our hardcore mod. For those of you who weren't around, we actually had a hardcore mod test, and it went very well, and I'm excited to play on the hardcore mod again.
Think you can come down? Go ahead and take them down.
Guys in the north are drawing a lot of attention. Boogeyman is in a very precarious situation here. If he sets up on this rock, he's not going to be able to get out. He's going to have. That's going to be awkward for him. And he is an AR.
Multiple contacts crossing over by our mine to direct west of that police structure. They're moving south.
Do they see these guys? These guys have definitely been spotted. This is squad. This is command with squads 3 and squads 1. I don't think they spotted squad 2 on this far south. Hardcore test was badass. Yeah, that's right, Yuri. I really liked what Best Pony I think was did a majority of what the of the hardcore mod, like developing the maps and getting I forget the word, variations put in and adjusting numbers and whatnot, especially for like the fob range and stuff, and he did a great job with it.
Squad 4.
Dwarf is set up sort of like an OP here, or like an observation post here at this this outpost. It's literally called Outpost, I believe. And it's actually a pretty good jumping off point for Dwarf. It allows him to maneuver his guys north to south here, and allows him to get vision on most of this road on the, or most of this west side of the objective. I'd like to see what Squad 2 and Squad 3 do. I don't think they're going to want to cross from here. It seems like suicide. Maybe take a longer flank and come in from the south where it looks a little bit weaker. But we can see that. They cannot. Looks like they've started opening up fire, and they've started to suppress. We'll see who decides to be a part of the initial assault. So, the second supply drop. The second supply drop is a bad drop. It was rolled a 3, so it's a bad drop. And essentially what that means is, due to the weather here, the pair drop went off course and it is off map, so they do not get a third drop. Their fourth drop will be on the south, and their last drop is also a bad drop. So they're gonna get 2 drops here total. They've already got their first one. Their last one is gonna be near Squad 4, also not in range, I believe. Gonna be near Squad 4, and it's gonna allow them to reload, I guess, but they need to fire for them to reload. I don't think US has put up much of a fight in returning fire. They've more okay, now they start to return fire. They've more just been taking it and letting the Russians. Someone's gonna get shot in the face. A lot of people, these rocks are a real trick. Like they're real baits, in my opinion. It's so easy to see a head. It's so easy to skyline on these rocks, and there's nothing to really break up your silhouette. So as soon as you peek over the rock, you just get shot at almost instantly. Fulcrum here plays down his rifleman sandbag, gives him quite a decent amount of cover, but it's not gonna allow him to peek up. Return any fire.
They're looking for me
So far, Russians are up
Yeah,
3 kills, while the U.S. are up 1 kill. She's gone down for this buddy. It was Kennett gone down with an AR. They've lost a medic on this side. They've lost a squad lead, and they've lost a rifleman. So far, still really close game, and it's all going to come down to the Russians actually starting the assault.
Try and keep it as a...
You hear that MTOB? There's the MTOB.
Enemy MTOB is roughly 100 to 200 meters north of us, moving northwest.
ADR, this is a shot. I made risk this shot. They're gonna hit that mine?
North side of the road, moving northwest.
Here, they're not gonna hit this mine. It got dug up, it looks like. I might have taken that shot if I was JDR. It was about a 100-meter shot. No, about a 200-meter shot. A little risky, but I might have risked it.
In the hill?
Contacts north 358.
Not a lot of people poking out on this west side anymore. Looks like most of them have fallen back over the crest of this hill. This is about where the crest is. Squad 4 is pulled back. They've got 2 eyes here marking and Private Flaming Delta. Squad 2 is in a pretty awkward position. I might actually start to pull them back by fire teams or at least buddy teams, because if the Russians can close off this salient here of Squad 1 using Squad 4 and Squad 1 here for the Russians, that can definitely cut off Squad 1 from retreating. I don't think these Russians can see anything anymore. They're just shooting to shoot, I feel. Actually, with Nasty Nate here, they might actually be able to get some okay eyes. Let's see. We turn off these outlines. Can we see anything? They can see a sandbag. Cool, look at, you see him, we have the zoom. We have the mighty zoom here. Nope, barely not peeking over. Fulcrum's peeking over a little bit. For the most part, US are keeping their head down, and they're content to let the Russians use their ammunition and sort of blink at the snow. On the northeast side, Squad 4 has moved up to these buildings here. Not a lot of eyes here. Not a lot of US checking out the northeast. They've got about, okay, never mind. Strike that. Got at least 4 sets of eyes, 6 sets of eyes here. Keeping eyes in this direction. They've got some decent cover. I'd like to see them start to try and bound across this road. If they can get a foothold in, say, this building here, this might be the chance that they. Did you see anything? I don't think he can. What are you shooting at, Storm? Do you even know what you're shooting at? You're just wasting ammunition. Oh, that's a pretty good sight. Oh, he did get one. He did get one.
They all went down after I shot at them.
Oh. I think it's 3 and 3.
Freeze right in front of me here.
Alright,
7
come
kills
to me,
are probably guys, yeah, like switching over to the
come directly to me.
Warthog switching over to the
I got
crewmate
you guys
kit.
sitting together.
So you can't really tell on kills or deaths.
Alright,
We usually count our
my position.
who's up
between the
downs.
trees. Right underneath that tree branch, 292.
292, hold on, scanning. There.
Go up. Top of the ridge. Top of the ridge.
Currently moving.
Right there.
The height.
What's that area? Displace, Volk.
Displacing.
Traces work both ways. Go check out where this M2B has decided to set up, because you now hear that that cannon for the M2B. Blends in very well. It's right here, because it's right over here. Gonna turn that down just a little bit, overpowering slightly.
Alright, command's going back.
Russia needs to isolate one side of the U.S. position, and the U.S. will fall like the snow. I think they need to cut off Squad 1 here. They send Squad, or at this point, Squad 1 looks like they're gonna try and remaneuver on the north end side. But if they push in here, from this angle here, and Squad 4 from this angle here, and they cut off Squad 4, that's gonna eliminate at least a squad. And that allows them to have this foothold here. Squad 4 for the Russians have actually managed to cross the street undetected, using the deflate to their advantage. Only 5-man team, about a fire team size. They're going full spec ops here. Let's see if they manage to get in under the eyes of the U.S.
I'm getting word of movement on the northeastern side.
Okay.
North of Rivi.
Back down. Okay, they spot. See who's spot. Deathcon? Maybe? Yeah, I bet it was them.
Hotel 1088. Hotel 1088. 97 as well.
Either Hotel 10-8.
So here's where they think they are. They're really over here. Okay, it's a okay spot. Okay spot.
Kirsty, what kind of contacts are on Hotel 1088?
Oh, they're gonna.
Fire 2.
But yeah,
it's still a ways out.
Yeah,
that was out.
But yeah,
no,
we have,
you guys should have that.
If they're in Hotel 88, they're like 100 to 200 meters.
Kirsty, were they moving south?
Udoku, they're a lot closer than 100 meters.
The 3rd Battalion.
I just want to make sure I'm not getting marked.
Actually, no, he's right.
Yeah.
Copy that, they're pulling east.
Shooting? Is that the Russian? Was that a Russian ND?
Other side of the road.
Yeah, I hear about the RCRs and the Van Dews and stuff.
No, they're like in between.
Oh, Squad 1 on Squad 1 action here. Got U.S. Squad 1 being assaulted by the Russian Squad 1, who've managed to push up the hill. They take out one, Atomic Peach in charge of this squad. And that's going to force Squad 1 to either pull back or hold their ground. I don't think Squad 1's going to be able to hold their ground since the Russians have superior numbers.
Yeah, we have at least one touch contact close north, 100 meters. Or, sorry, 50.
Copy that. If you need to,
It is a literal uphill battle for the Russians. See what they can do. Oh, Atomic Peach is not in charge of this. Sughart's in charge of this. My fault. Sorry, Sughart. Getting close. Ooh. Awkward peak for Viper. That's what I meant about that uphill battle. The U.S. are gonna have those eyes here, and I like this. They're gonna have a base of fire here of 4. Ooh, now 3 as some of them go down, and then another fire team on this right side who's gonna push up to flank. This is good. This is a very good fire and maneuver. A classic fire and maneuver. Within friendly grenade range, Sunny's gonna take a grenade. Gonna have to bandage. See what I said about taking out this salient here and forcing it back, and they've seen how much they've already taken of this north side. Gonna force one back. U.S. are coming. The U.S. are up in kills, mainly because these couple deaths here, but the Russians have the stronger foothold, I'd say, or have gotten their foothold. Grenade goes out from Sayer. Is he gonna get Hype? Oh, Hype runs into it. Darts is in charge now as bump goes down. And they're gonna get caught on these bait rocks. Lord Chonka and Say are gonna try and use these rocks to peek over. You can't. You gotta peek around the side. Sunny's done it right. They are done it right too. But this thing by Lord Chonka, I think he's gonna die here. It's a very awkward position for him. He can get set up. Who knows? The fire from the west side, provided by the MTLB and Squads 3 in command, are actually doing a lot of work on dictating where the U.S. are able to maneuver. Ooh, shots go out on lawn darts. Taking those, Sayer takes those shots. They've got a foothold. Squad 4 trying to remaneuver. They tried to push up, and it looks like they got caught here. Lose 1. Phoenix is still up though.
Alright, let's go. They were just over the ridge, 100 meters.
Let's get behind some very
Lost the squad lead. I think that's Crispy who went down.
Command wants us to look at there, see if we get contact again.
Crispy has gone down. No, HML. HML.
Full squad out to my direct west at 1.2.
So the full squad's gonna move to the northeast rather than the west. It looked like they were moving west, but they repositioned. They're gonna hit that map edge. They're gonna try and swing further north. Or swing further south. The Russians are just picking them apart. Still really close. 8 kills for the US, 9 kills for the Russians. That second supply drop happened. The second supply drop has happened, and this is the US's final supply drop here on the south. I don't think anybody's going to be able to make it to this one, though. A very risky supply drop to try and get to. Then again, that west side's even worse. They need to reload. I guess they technically could use this one, but it's just so far out of the way. I don't think they are.
Copy. I might have a squad moving around to my east.
Full squad, you say, huh?
Same as they did. They're close.
Full squad. I count 4.
Yeah, they're gonna swing east. So, so far it's 1.
Russia needs to reinforce that north foothold and keep pinning the base of fire from the west and allow the north to move on up to you. I agree. They need to reinforce Squad 1 here with possibly a fire team from Squad 3 or maybe even command. I like the movement from Squad 2, from Hero Squad. I like this movement here. This is good, but it's just going to take so long to get into position. I think they either need to start moving now or they just need to cut their losses. Move Squad 2 to the base of fire. Reinforce Squad 1 with Squad 3 and keep up this base of fire with the MTLB. They've got the foothold here. They don't need another foothold, or they're just going to get picked apart from different angles. Probably, knowing Dwarf, he's going to tell these guys to hold their position. Look at them all up on this rock. One grenade's going to kill, like, 3 people. Come on, guys. Spacing. Luckily, no US are in range to teach them the lesson of spacing. But still, you got to always keep that in mind, Sugar. You know better. Squad 4 is in a really awkward position here on the northeast. It's going to be very hard for them to push in. This is where they've got a lot of guys in this area. Squad 2 really needs to pick up the pace here if they want to close the noose in on this. Squad 2 is really starting to move now. Yep. Start to push in here. And to be fair, it's a very good angle for them to push in on. And there's not a lot of guys really keeping eyes in this direction. They've got Kakai and Donut Joe here looking south. But these guys are really concerned about the squad on the west. Squad 3 is doing a really good job of keeping this base of fire up with the help from Squad 4's MTL. Start moving. You guys are going to start to get picked apart. 12 kills for the Russians so far, 8 kills for the US.
Around to the east.
They know where Squad 4 is. They have to.
Is that contact still out there, like 50 meters?
Last we knew, it hasn't fired for some time.
Wolf? Hear that?
Copy that. Should still be out there though.
Didn't realize. I know that there's like the dog on Yeho Rivka, the toilet on Hot River Valley. I think there's a wolf on this map.
How's that contact?
Totally a wolf. Look at that.
No contact this time, but we might have a fire team still
Squad
maneuvering.
4 is really gonna have to bide their time. They're near Wolf Hill. You're making that up. Not named Wolf Hill. Squad 2 still hasn't moved yet. Squad 1 is gonna slowly start to get picked apart if these guys don't hurry, and they're gonna lose this foothold. Very precarious situation the Russians are in here. A lot of moving parts and nothing's really clicked in. Wolf gonna wipe a squad if they don't watch it. That would be amazing.
Doesn't sound like there's too many still to our direct.
When if a pack came out and like if any of you played the new that Call of Duty Black Ops Battle Royale thing, there's a spot where like zombies come out and it turns from a player versus player thing to like player versus environment. That would just be really funny if you wandered into a wrong part of a squad map, all of a sudden like wolves come out and you have to defend yourselves against that. I'm surprised Lorchonga hasn't died yet. Being on top of the rocks, I am completely opposed to being on top of these rocks. Check out this base. The base of fire is moving off the hill. And these guys have pulled back off of this. They've either died or they pulled back out of these buildings. I'm gonna think they died because those buildings are too good to just give up.
Copy that. I want you to take at least a buddy team.
Like that, vaulting through the window. Gonna clear this.
It's gonna be directly to your south. Make sure they don't come around you.
Base of fire is moving up the hill, and they're gonna start to push in. They're gonna just keep the base of fire to solely the MTLB plus Jive Gorilla, who I believe. Alright, he's an MG. That's an okay base of fire, and Squad 3 is going to start to try and push west. And I like this call. It's going to allow them to reconnect with 1 and really form a western push with Squads 1, 3, and 2. Squad 2 is finally starting to move up the hill, but I just don't think they're moving fast enough. They don't have to move. Don't have to move quickly because they are in the lead slightly, but I prefer the aggression over this this crawling.
Make sure we got some security on our west.
Squad 4 is moved off of this. This is where Squad 4 was.
Your responsibility.
About these rocks, so they would be able to really keep at least here the incoming Squad 2. But everybody's sort of reconsolidated their lines.
That's 6.
Alright,
well, I appreciate the effort, but
how many guys we got out? So squad 1, how many guys?
Don't think anybody's in position. The
also, does that optic have zoom on it?
2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
Alright.
The optic does not have zoom. I think
Zooms?
he's thinking of the ACOG here.
Yeah.
The
Next time, just don't grab that one.
The ACOG does not have zoom.
Hey, I got contact to our south, contact to the south.
The ACOG, it's basically a wider field of view.
Around a tree, 212.
But it does not have the same zoom as the regular one.
Only 3 of us left.
It's not there anymore, but he was peeking it.
How many guys you see south? 4.
Peek me again, you son of a bitch.
1 for now.
Waiting. Captain Verk.
Baby. And
how far?
Tigers.
He's probably 200 meters out. He was on the far ridge.
Alright, just watch.
But they've really managed to. They're getting a little close together. I want to see them connect with 2. Maybe come up between these 2 rocks here. Push in through here. That'll allow Squad 1 to push in and Squad 2 to push in.
Trying to peek me right now.
Oh!
Iced him.
Yeah, he did.
Can someone confirm he's down? Nah, he's fucking dead.
I can't see him.
They're definitely on our southwest, guys.
Definitely on the southwest. Squad 2. Nate's already lost two guys on this push here. When I think that if he had taken this low ground over on this side, just a little further north, and possibly pushed up these rocks here, that would be a slightly better position. The MTOB is getting very aggressive with his positioning, pushing off of the hill and going to start climbing. Very susceptible to the LATs. Do the US have any light anti-tanks left? Yeah, they have to have, yeah, they have at least 1, 2, 3 light anti-tanks left. And those guys can reload off of those supply trucks. Those MTOB can definitely go down, being very, very aggressive.
Where's the MTLB right now?
MTLB is to the northwest of 1 and 2.
You're gonna allow squad 1 to push up though. With this MTLB drawing pressure, I want to see squad 1 start to push up to the MTLB's position. Because once the infantry gets around the MTLB, it's going to be very hard for a light anti-tank to take it out. Where are you looking? Looking the wrong way! Squad 4 is still maneuvering around here. It looks like Phoenix went down in that eastern engagement, but they're really forcing squads to pull off of the west here and forcing them east. Like all of Squad 3 is now on the east here, and if you look, it's a disproportionate amount of infantry on the east to deal with 3 people, whereas they've got the full Russian platoon, the rest of the Russian platoon on that west side, including the MTOB.
Copy that. How many?
2 squads.
Copy that.
A little higher, and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit to give you an idea of how the Russians are pushing. You see this line, kind of hard to see. Let's see if we can zoom just right. You got about 3 lines, a line of Russian platoon on the bottom half of the screen pushing up, but it's a literal uphill battle for the Russians as they try and clear the US off the hills a little bit better. Squad 1 is still not moved off of these rocks entirely.
Command, this is 1. We have at least a 5 team size element on our western slope.
KJ is getting surrounded on the rocks. Takes out a squad lead. Takes out Nasty Nate. Oh, KJ takes out 2. No, takes out 1. He has to knife him. He ran out of ammo and he had to knife him. That was a good knife, and he bleeds out. Good job, KJ. He took out the squad lead, leaped over the rock, blasted this guy on the bottom, and then ended up knifing this guy here. Silas is getting pushed insanely hard. White Funk is behind him. Hero and friends are pushing in on his side. Silas is gonna get flanked here. He's gonna run into him and he's not gonna see him. Yep. Takes him out. Freaking went Rambo. Yeah, Terex just went Rambo. Surprised he didn't pull out a pistol. Maybe he was a basic rifleman. KJ probably was a basic rifleman, so he doesn't have that pistol. He had to resort to his knife. Yep, basic rifleman. Ends up with 4 though. Good job. I have no audio. I don't think he meant to say that in all chat. I think he was trying to say that in squad chat. But they're starting to the U.S. forces are starting to have to reconsolidate in the center, and that's just they're being very reactive right now instead of proactive with their positioning, and reacting to the east so heavily with the full squad has caused them to have poor positioning on the west where the real Russian forces are. They're slowly starting to get encircled. Squad 2 is finally in this fight, and they've done a great job of getting in this fight eventually. They're up. They've only gotten 2 kills so far. Squad Nastinate doing a great job with his suppressing fire and then actually pushing in. And then Squad 2, 8 kills, 9 kills now with their initial assault, cutting off Squad 1 for the US.
They're right on top of me to the northwest.
They're really getting pushed hard, and there's not a lot of cover on these hills. It's gonna be about who shoots first, who shoots better. And they're running out of lats. They're gonna run out of any options to deal with these MTOBs.
They're throwing nades as well. MTLB's pushing, find cover.
Find cover. Find cover. Because this MTB is going to start ripping people to shreds if they can't get a lat on target. I haven't heard a single... Ooh. Hero goes down to a team kill over here. Very unfortunate for them. But I haven't heard a single rocket go out for the U.S. And this lat has had free reign. Look at the bodies in front of them. And as the M2B rolls up, infantry is just running up behind them. Lord Chonka takes out, hip firing that MG, smokes out for the U.S. Lord Chonka goes down, smokes out for the Russian MTOB, I should say. Grenade takes out Lord Chonka. Smokes are just what are these smokes blocking? Ghost, I guess? Revy? Huh.
Almost everyone's down on the south.
There's still one guy turned up 255, 20 meters.
255, copy that.
Squad 4 is finally pushing it off the... So they've actually come back to the... Oh, they're shooting at Ghost. Ghost gets taken down by a coax. And this squad is finally... They're going to approach from their original position where they got cut off from. But this time there are no U.S. in the area to stop their flank. And now they're going to just be able to come in from the side. Revy, the only one in position to see this, but he's not in a great position to defend it. Yep. Definitely not in a great position to defend it. Looks like we're down, or 28 kills for the U.S., 32 for the Russians, as they slowly start to tear apart the U.S. Let's get an exact number of U.S. alive. U.S.? Yeah, there's one U.S. alive. Sergeant Rabbit over here against Easy and Musk. I think he sees him. I think he's using the body to his advantage. Very, very hard to see. Definitely not. Definitely can't see him. But we've got 1 U.S., 2 U.S., 3 U.S. soldiers alive. Easy's gonna go down, I believe. That I've gone down. No, not Easy. The Sergeant Rabbit. Okay. Yep.
I2 is just me and you.
Yep. It is just Stormfront, or Storm and Revy. Only 2 people alive. Storm is playing dead in a tree, watching his radio, and he's just being swarmed by Russians. Yeah, definitely 3, 6, 7. 2 in here, 8, 9. These 3 over here. 12 Russians alive to the 2 U.S. Let's see what happens. I don't think Revy's going to be able to contribute much here. Yep, Revy goes down as he tries to run out. Gets taken out by Hamdog, Jake Carhans, and CNC. Leaving Storm the only one left alive. This MTOB just wasn't dealt with. There was no lats in position to spot him or to take shots at the MTOB, and it just ran through. And as you saw it, like especially in this area right here, as it just rode past here, infantry were just able to follow up behind it and deal with the infantry that could have possibly dealt with the MTOB. From the last one up, Russians, you need to start dealing with this radio. This is their objective.
You don't see me.
But nobody sees you yet. So once you start firing. Down.
It's over.
Nobody sees him yet. Mr. Moneyman sees him.
Saw you, SL. Peek it again. And now I'm going back to the guys behind me.
sweeping the hills. They're afraid to push up on the radio now. Who says Dwarf? Afraid to get up on the radio. He's gonna get somebody else. Oh, and he takes out Dwarf. Mr. Moneyman finally gets eyes on where Storm is. Command takes out the other command. Storm's gonna have a decent amount of kills at this point. He's got 4 kills. Oh, takes out Mr. Moneyman. I swear to God, if Storm goes Rambo here, no, there's no way he can. Oh, he's gonna get run up on here by Triton. Widen this POV here. Go fisheye for a sec. See what's gonna get him.
Come on.
They have to know he's in this bush.
Don't see me. You can't see. I am Bushman. I am the Thunderdome. You have nothing on me.
Talk it up for the stream, Storm. Talk it up. Watch you get shot in the face from their ass. What are they shooting? Oh, they're gonna shoot the MTO, or they're gonna shoot the radio, which they need the main cannon to do that. Yeah, they need the main cannon to do that. I believe it. Yeah, see, the PKT just isn't gonna do it. The coax gun's not gonna do it. It's gotta be the main cannon to shoot this. I'm gonna take out Triton.
Come on, MTLB. You gotta get out.
They're gonna pass up Storm? They're gonna pass up Storm. They literally didn't see him. And they takes out Triton. Oh my God, is he gonna do this by being Bushman the entire time? There's nobody behind him. I'm checking. Nobody behind him.
Can't see me.
They literally can't see him. Takes out. Oh, he misses. This could give it away. Could give it away here. No, he manages to take out Hamdog. He takes out another. Storm is going actual Rambo here. Bet.
Can't see me.
Who thinks he's gonna do it? He's up to 8 kills already. Somebody's digging. Somebody's digging. He can't see him. Oh, he does see him. He's shooting too far. Great positioning by something blonde. Something Clay's blonde. Great positioning, using the radio to his advantage. The M2B is actually providing defense, shielding him. Takes out another.
Clever girl.
Storm is on a roll here. Now he has to move to defend this. Holy shit. Did he bring it back? There's only 2 infantry left plus the 2 guys in the MTLB. He's underneath the gun. Nope, no he's not. Yeah, he is. He's underneath the gun.
You can't.
He doesn't have the depression.
No, you can't.
He doesn't have the depression. Storm takes out another.
You can't get it.
He's underneath the gun. This is amazing. The Russian vehicle just doesn't have the depression.
Jump out. Jump out. I hear you. Dude, let me reload.
Easy's gonna take him out. A Musk is gonna take him out. No, he doesn't! Oh God, there's no more infantry left. It's the guy inside the gun. Holy shit, did Storm just bring this back? Storm just brought this back. There's nobody left. It's just Wolf Dog. It's just 2 against 1. Can Storm do it? Holy shit, Storm. Takes out 1. Oh God. It's a 1-on-1 now. Oh my God. Can he do it? Storm does it! Storm does it. He takes. Storm took it. Oh my God. Storm got 13 kills. Hiding in a fucking bush. Hiding in a bush. He just took them out. That is the fucking U.S. commander there. Oh my God. What a monster. He was just hiding in a bush, letting the Russians run past him. Oh, there's nothing else can be said on that. He's just a monster. What was that? What the actual fuck was that?
Got more kills.
He That was amazing by Storm. Just letting the Russians run past him, not getting angsty, not running, not trying to reposition unnecessarily, and then getting underneath the M2OB's gun. The M2OB just didn't have the depression to actually shoot him. They saw him. They knew he was there. They should have actually repositioned the M2OB. They had the time. They knew that he didn't have any way of dealing with it. They should have pulled the M2OB back at range and then tried to get him that way. I think that was the way to do it. They got a little weird with parking it on top of the radio and then trying to hold off in that way. But we'll see what happens this next round, because I don't know what's going to be able to beat the last person being U.S. Command taking out 13 people as they just ran by him. What a great round. And with that, we're going to take a quick about 3-minute break, guys. Stick around as we swap sides. We get everything situated for this next round, and we will be right back.
You said it was fine.
The MTLB was great. The MTLB actually did a lot of work.
No, they didn't.
They absolutely did not.
Why are you driving the logic? Because that's why I want to drive.
At the end, it helped us. And it helped me for...
Actually, we can drive the logic ourselves. I need to drive back.
Alright, guys. Let's go ahead and bring this back. Give me some time to talk about how the last round went. Just needed to grab some water after such an action-packed round. And if you're interested in participating in this round, you should hop in our pre-operation channel. As long as you have our Squad Ops SOTT Basic, Squad Ops Tactics and Training Basic course finished, our event admins will be able to hop in there and help you out in getting situated for this round. We will... If you're interested in participating in these events, you do need our basic course, and to see where to take those, check us out at squadops.gg. From there, once you link your Discord account, then you'll be able to take the course. It's only about 30-45 minutes long, and you'll be able to participate in any and all of our Squad Ops events from then on out. So squadops.gg to check out our events, both of our training and our regular One Life events. And what a very action-packed round. The Russians had a great base of fire with the MTLB and Nasty Nate Squad. I believe he was Squad 3 at the time. Is he Squad 3 this time? He's not. It was Nasty Nate Squad with a base of fire, and it really allowed the Russians to get up on that hill and take out the U.S. Just piece by piece. I didn't think that three-pronged attack was going to work, but whenever Squad 3 really filled in the hole between Squads 1 and Squads 2, and it really allowed them to complete the line and push effectively. Squad 4 was less than effective, I'd say. Well, to be fair, they had the M2B providing a base of fire, so they were really, it wasn't really a squad per se. It was more of a fire team, and they really spent the whole time just running, and I guess effective. They weren't effective in firing, but I guess they really did draw a lot of attention and force the U.S. to position themselves on the east more heavily than they really should have, I'd say, is really what went on. Will it teach us how to go Rambo? Unfortunately, Terror X Day, that's something you're born with, and it looks like Storm was really born with being Rambo. But it will teach you our basic concepts, basic formations and jargon, I guess, and how we give everybody sort of a literal basic understanding of how our operations are run. And from there, we also have our advanced weapon systems course and our vehicle course and things like that to just give you a little more information on how to be a more effective member in your squad. And we also have our fire team lead course, which I believe is put on hold for now as we rework some of it. But whenever that gets back in place, it'll just allow you to become, or give you the information necessary to become a better fire team lead. So that way, whenever we call for these kits, for these special roles, you can say, "Hey, I have the training," and it'll give you a little more push when it comes to being able to select those roles. What's the start time? About 2 minutes? Oh, sorry. I was a little late about that. Yeah, I'm back, and round time has not been called. Round time has not been called just yet. We are getting set up, and it looks like the U.S. are going to choose the northern position. I'll go over what the operation is and who's leading these operations in just a sec, as soon as I'm done talking about that last round, which I'm basically done. Storm just did a great job being Bushman and letting the Russians push past him. I really thought the Russians had it in the bag whenever it was just Storm up. They just weren't as diligent as they should have been clearing the area, I'd say. That was for their main fallback. They did a great job actually pushing up to the hill and actually clearing out a majority of the U.S. They just weren't as diligent as they could have been in clearing the immediate area around the radio. So for the U.S. side, we have platoon leader Dwarf with his squad leads Phoenix, Hero, Nasty Nate, and Sugar. Right there. For the Russians, we have platoon lead Storm with his squad leads Assault, HML, Colonel Cyborg Clone, and it's Crispy. So a lot of good work on both sides. Nasty Nate, very distinctive with his base of fire. HML did a great job holding his flank. Really, the commands did a great job maneuvering guys around and looking for some interesting maneuvering this round as well. We'll see what how the U.S. managed to hold this this area. So let's go over the operation. Let me go ahead and pull up the map really quick. It is an attack and defend operation. The Russians are attacking one of these chosen positions. The U.S. are defending one of these chosen positions. The U.S. have chosen location A, so it's the northern position, and the Russians are tasked with eliminating the U.S. presence in that area. U.S. assets include 2 automatic riflemen, 1 light anti-tank, 1 medic for the squad. For the platoon, they get 4 engineers, distributed how the platoon leader pleases, whether it be 2 squads, 1 per each squad, all 4 in 1 squad. However he wants to split it up is how he splits it up. They also get random supply drops throughout the match. We'll see once the event admins give me those times and positions. I'll be able to tell you, so that way we can understand that. They also get to place down a patrol fob that includes 1 radio, 2 HMGs, 1 mortar, sandbags, and wire. We didn't get to see any of the patrol base go down because they were just unlucky in their dice roll. Both of their drops were way out of range, and it just didn't really work out for the U.S. So we didn't get to see any of the assets. Maybe we'll get to see some this round. For the Russians, they get, for the squads, 2 automatic riflemen and 1 medic per squad. For the platoon, they get 2 MGs and 2 breachers.
Dwarf, do you want to get my breacher?
For vehicles, they get 2 trans trucks, 1 MTLB, and 1 MTLB with the KVPT. So the Russians will start in the middle of the map on that red Russian flag, and they can choose to spawn 1 or 2 squads on the north at Russian main to man the MTLB and transport trucks if they so choose to use those vehicles for remaneuvering, repositioning, and whatnot. Last round, we only saw 1 squad spawn there to take the MTLB and push from there.
Hero, will you have any?
Let's check out this area. The U.S. have chosen Squad A, Spot A, and it's another awkward shape. I like these positions because it's not a perfect circle. Squad B was using this road as a stopping point. A or C or whatever is over here in this position. And then they have A, which is here.
So I have 3.
So let's see where they decide to go. I believe they're gonna have somebody here. They're definitely gonna have somebody on this hab mark. I remember I just heard Dwarf say they're gonna have somebody here. They're gonna have guys on this this main hill. This actual the main hill that they're on is actually very easy to defend because there's a lot of tree cover here. There's a lot of these rocks that are usually a bait actually work out pretty nicely for the CQB area, and it's very hard for an MTLB to get positioned on any of these adjacent hills to lay down fire from. Very hard for the MTLB to be effective firing onto this hill. Get his guys to get set up. Unfortunately got left behind. Probably gonna have to wait for the event admin to get back there with his vehicle.
I don't know.
We have always valid. Let's just build a hab, have them spawn in.
You might as well just bring a trans truck up here.
Or that.
Welcome everybody to this Squad Ops stream, by the way. This is our Squad Ops One Life event, Operation Black Ice. Black Ice.
I mean, seriously?
I am your commentator for this evening, ShadowedRitual. And we're in after a very action-packed first round. We should be in for another action-packed second round as we prepare for the US. Or as we prepare for live, which hasn't been called just yet.
Until we get lodges, if we get lodges. What I want you to focus on, Hero, is defenses for the west side, like looking west. I want you to focus with defenses look south and southeast. Something we can use to defend ourselves if they ever get on the hilltop where Shook's gonna be.
Copy.
Phoenix, you're gonna be up on these northern rocks, pretty much covering the bridges. It's a little gamey. I don't want to make it sound gamey, but it is a little gamey, just because their NTLB will be starting right there, and we'll be killing them pretty much right out of main. So just watch those bridges.
Assuming he doesn't go west. Yeah.
Yeah, just watch those bridges. Don't peek the rocks north because it could just stare at you straight from live, and pop you off. Shookheart will take up positions on the hab marks. He should be able to cover just about everything from over there and react to contact as needed. And then Nasty Nate will be up here. Oops, use a different mark. On the red fob mark, he will be watching this bridge. He'll be watching this bridge.
I built before live.
So essentially he's going to have guys off of the point. He's going to have a squad here watching this bridge, watching the west side, not allowing the Russians to get on this hill. I believe this hill is actually very good for...
Oh, can I build?
There it is. It was very good for assaulting from to get jump off points. So Nate's going to try and prevent guys from getting this area over here. Gonna have a squad on the main area here, and they're gonna have a squad watching their south, and sort of have a fallback point.
Squad 2 2's almost.
And it's a pretty solid plan. No real complaints about it. And it all just comes down to execution. The interesting thing is this area here is going to be pivotal in deciding where the U.S. where the Russians manage to come from. Because if they fall back off of this point too early, it's going to open up this whole western flank. It's going to make it very hard for the U.S. to defend. But if they can, if they manage to hold their grounds here, it's gonna force the U.S. into
Dash P had to restart.
Force the Russians to try and come in from another angle, and it's a little more difficult.
Torf, can I get some clarification? Don't want me peeking, but we're supposed to engage them if they cross the bridges? Is that...
Oh, you can check the bridges. You can watch the bridges, but I'm saying peek north across the river.
Gotcha, okay.
Like, it'll be pretty obvious if we hear them going west.
Park it over there somewhere, I guess.
And keep your people... Don't have your people peek over the hill now. Don't want anyone being seen in Maine, if they are there.
I'm sure they hear the transport, so...
I'm sure they do. They already know we're gonna be here. I just don't want us to
This is the Russian objective. Take out this fob. This is the U.S. objective to defend this fob.
Is he supposed to bring a Logi or a Tran?
Nope, he just didn't spawn in with the rest of us.
Ooh.
In the...
Who did that?
I think that was Hero.
The gig is up.
Hero.
Special, I think.
Put your gun away. Basic rework for sure.
Maybe not. Maybe. More guys over here. So if any of you guys in chat have any questions about squad ops in general, or maybe the game squad, I am here to answer you. If you got any questions at all. And I believe Xpit's in the chat here, who is in charge of our operation design, and he does a great job at it, and this is his brainchild. And if you have any question on the op, I'm sure he would be willing to answer, or at least pretend to answer. Waiting on a live time has not been called just yet.
Hero, mine placement, your discretion. Same with you, Chug, or whoever has
Get my fly speed super far up.
Okay, yeah, so I don't care where you put them. Just put them somewhere intelligent where the MTLB will probably go.
We're gonna have a much longer time to contact from the Russians.
It'll be quick.
2 minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
Definitely a lot more ground for the Russians to cover or maneuver from. Unlike this position here, where it's like 200 meters, 300 meters. Looks like we're getting ready for a U.S. brief, and let's go ahead and see what we can catch. Live at 7:38. Live in about 2 minutes.
We actually pretty much completed our mission. There were a few hiccups at the end. I won't get into that. For this one, we're defending this fob. Up here, peeking, or not peeking, but watching the bridges will be Phoenix. Down here on the green fob mark will be Shughart. On the fob itself and looking more south and east will be Hero. And over here on this IED marks will be frickin' Nasty Nate. Watching that bridge and our western flank. Any questions?
So I can take it as that we won last round, right?
Sure, dude.
Okay. And also, can these bridges only?
Believe what you want to, Sessa.
They cross the river?
Believe what you want
sure,
to.
Dude.
Oh, alright.
You have a good one, Clayton.
Live is about to be called, so break
20
off.
seconds.
Let's make sure we're reading the opt-out, guys. That we don't have to
seconds.
ask questions that are already written down there.
Let's see how this operation will play out, and I've got the roles from the event admin. US gets first drops 5 minutes after live, so live now. So at 7:32 they will get their first drop, and we'll see where where it lands. Look at them scatter. I don't think the Russians are taking the MTLB. I don't see the Russians taking the MTLB. Oh, they took a transport. Okay. Okay. Where they decide to run to. I'm gonna try and get on this west side before the US actually gets set up in position. Look at them. They've got squads 2 on the west, squads 1 on the south, squad 3 on the east, and squad 4 holding the point. Got 1 transport truck and the rest of the Russian platoon on foot. They've 2 squads. Got squads 3 and squads 4 in here. Punched over in the cold. Almost flipped. Somebody hurt. But yeah, 2 squads just clown carring it out of there. Just gets first drop after 5. And the drop will be on the south, what I'm being told. And their second drop will also be on the south. So we'll see how if the US are able to recover it. I believe it's going to be in this position.
What was that? Looks like our trans blew up.
Why
did it blow up?
Still not in position. I don't think they're going to be able to catch this. The Russians move so quickly out of Maine. Or move so quickly out of their start location.
I didn't know if it was on fire or not.
Where do you want us, Jack?
You already go over commanders and squad leads, or did you missed it, Terex Day? But I can go over them again quickly. Doesn't take too long. For the U.S., we've got platoon leads Dwarf with his squad leads Phoenix, Hero, Nasty Nate, and Shughart. For the Russians, we've got platoon lead Storm with his squad leads Assault, HML, Silas, and Crispy. A lot of great work on both sides last round. The platoon leads did a great job maneuvering their guys around and doing what they needed to do to have a successful op. I believe Dwarf was just a little bit better at managing his guys for the most part up until the very end where Storm, killed 13 people. But I thought Storm had the upper hand in his positioning and his maneuvering of guys. And Storm was just a little too reactive rather than proactive with his movement. But they both still did a great job, and their squad leads again, they both did a great job.
Yes, get in cover and cover the bridge. They can only cross that bridge.
Command, just so you know, we can't, it's really hard for us to get eyes on that far northeastern bridge.
Any specific place you want me for?
I haven't heard a civil engine yet,
no,
so...
just whatever gives you the best...
It's going to be basically 200 meters from this pause. So just think 200. I don't know if it's high or low.
Command 4SL is going to shift west, see if I can blast the western side.
I don't want anybody skylining over here.
This is what they want to watch. They don't want an MTLB to roll over this bridge. They don't know that the Russians elected not to take an MTLB. But that's what they're worried about, isn't it? The U.S. airdrop should happen in about a minute, or about a minute 20. I like this pairing of an MG and a light anti-tank. Watch the bridge though. Little skylining. I'd like to see Lex Ryan pull back here against this tree. Use this deflate here if you look. This deflate here gets set up. Look through the tree. Look through like the leaf stuff. That'd be a much better position. But U.S. or Russians U.S. got into position.
To that bridge north of you.
Now it's up to the Russians to maneuver. These guys rushed up here so quickly. I would have expected them to try and push and be a little more aggressive, but it looks like they rushed up here to get set up to be a base of fire, which is kind of awkward. I would have much rather preferred to see an assault team get pushed up here. But it looks like they are going to be the base of fire. get set up here, and then they're gonna have squads 1, 2, and command come up from the river's edge. Streams? I guess technically it's a river. These guys, shallow river, and it's cold water conditions, very, very cold water. The Russians just can't handle it. Nobody can handle it, and so no infantry or vehicles in the water.
The ones down here to the south end of the cliff area.
Few more minutes of maneuvering. I think there's going to be about 3 to 4 more minutes of maneuvering for the Russians before they get into actual position. Colonel Cyborg went a little far behind. It spawned in late, and the first Logi truck has been dropped. The first supply drop has been deployed. I don't want to say drop again, but I think drop is the best term for that. I don't definitely not in range of the U.S. FOB. But it's in positions where a lot of one's guys, especially like his engineers, can resupply, and that's something we didn't see last round. So the U.S. have engineers, which is a kit included with our Squad Ops mod, and it is basically a one-man fob. They have like 5 sandbags and 5 sets of barbed wire, or maybe 10. Expert can correct me, but I believe it's 5 sandbags and 5 barbed wire. And so they can set those down. I would have rather than just letting the supplies be, I would have liked to see some of those engineers run back and forth, just keep resupplying off of the FOB, and getting a few more defenses built up for these guys here at their final point.
Skip to the next tree.
Both bridges to our north. No sign of movement.
That would have been really cool to see those engineers just ferrying supplies back and forth. Because they can only get sandbags and barbed wire anyways. They wouldn't be able to put down like oil barrels or anything.
Quick reaction force now.
Raj, do you want us to station elsewhere from where we're currently at, or hold?
Trying to figure out where 4 is going to go, I think is what Dwarf's contemplating. What would be a really cool idea, in my opinion, would be to get Squad 4 to cut off this area here, but it just wouldn't work because they can't cross the. They wouldn't be able to cross the river. So in theory, it's an awesome idea, but it wouldn't work, especially because all of these guys are about to cross this southwest bridge. Let's see if Nasty Nate can spot them. Oh, the engineers get mines too. Guys are crossing this bridge. Nobody's saying anything. You can see that. Definitely see that. I don't even need zoom to see that.
All squads contact infantry moving across a bridge to the
There they go.
west of our pause. It's just 1 times enemy infantry.
1 times enemy infantry, huh?
It's eyes on 1 single dude from our report.
Okay. He's probably
Okay, so Nate's not the one who sees him. It's probably squad. There you go. There you go. Good call, Lex. I believe it was Lex who's calling this. We can't hear their squad comms. That's where the announcement was made.
To react to that contact. Expect them to go up the riverbank, tier west.
Red Storm like a book. Dwarf just read Storm strategy so well, and look, they're walking through the riverbank. To be fair, it's a classic approach, I'd say. It's a very predictable approach.
Go for the lodges. Go for the lodges.
Both lodges are dropped on the south. Let's see, 4th drop.
Already on it.
Oop.
I don't know if they'll be in range, but
Guys were spotted. I like this commitment here. The last time this strategy was chosen, these guys didn't commit, and they just got torn apart. The Russians look like they're going to commit to at least these rocks, and they're going to try and work their way up the hill. I really like this. A lot of smoke's being thrown out. Base of fire still on the other side of this hill. They left a fire team up here with the medium machine guns. And I'm really going to draw a lot of pressure. One goes down. One medium machine gun down. US just aiming a little bit better. But they've got 4 or 5. That's unfortunate, Colonel Cybercon. No sound. Very, very awkward bug, I know. So the Russians have started to make progress up here. Look at this J. Like it's almost an L-shaped ambush, I guess would be the term. They need to get Squad 4 to start pushing this way, but they need to, for Squad 1 and Squads 2 to get a little bit closer up to the north. But I like this formation by the Russians. Like watching a Python around US Squad 2. Yep, that Python just needs to close in before Squad 4 manages to remaneuver. Look at them, the QR Force. Look how fast they're moving. They're running south here, and they're gonna try and come up behind them. Great movement by Squad 4. I don't even think Dorf told them to do that, but that's Phoenix just taking the initiative. Like this movement. So far, 3 kills for the US, 0 kills for the Russians, and that's their base of fire that's been torn apart. That's not anybody in the immediate area here. That's just their base of fire. So I believe the US are still unaware how many Russian forces are actually in the area. Squad 4 is not going to try and push in from the direct west. They're going to try and push in from the north. I like this.
2, can you support? 4, can you support?
I like this. I like this. Python's the only one watching north, and he's not even in a good. He's being the good medic, keeping his head down, and gonna wait for friendlies to get hurt to go and save them. But I like this press from Squad 4. It's almost a north-south push. Squad 4 got through almost completely unharmed. Squad 4, nobody died from Squad 4, and they're in a great position. I love Russian maneuvering right now.
Hotel 447, contact gets too strong.
Russians just need to keep up their pace. I agree, Expert. Russians just keep moving. Desmond goes down to a grenade. Fortuitous goes down to a grenade.
Command, this 2, we're pulling back.
I believe Nate goes. Nate went down. Yeah, Nate went down. Drive Gorilla's in charge. Noose has been closed just about. Let's see if Squad 4 can take out these guys. Nope, Squad 4 is not going to move quickly enough. Squad 4 for the Squad 4 is about to for the Russians is about to come into contact with Squad 4 for the US is about to come in contact with Squad 2 from the Russians. That is the correct phrase. Silas versus Phoenix. About a squad against a fire team. No, it's about a fire team versus a fire team. Look at that, 5 on 5. 3, 4, 5. Let's see who.
2, if you need to push north.
US has the high ground, but who's gonna see them first? Phoenix sees them first. Takes out Silas right off the bat.
And we had
Phoenix goes down. Grenade just thrown just a little too far. Grenade goes out. Not far enough.
Alright, forward, fall back. Fall back to,
They lose 2 in the engagement. No, they lose 1 in the engagement. They only lost. They lost their squad leads, both of them. Grenade just not far enough. They're out of grenade range as 4 starts to pull back. Great contact, though. Great movement to contact there. Squad 4 is going to reposition. I love the position of this Russian squad. Now they've got this whole area to work with. Squad 2 should really set up a spot here with Squad 1 and hold that line, I believe. But they're probably gonna pull all the way back, mostly because when you lose your squad lead like that, you generally lose a lot of your cohesion, your unit cohesion, and it's forcing the FTL to step up and take charge of what the squad lead left you with. There's still a lot of people left. About 6 kills for the US, 5 kills for the Russians. Still anybody's game.
Hotel 468.
Yeah, but who's gonna pull all the way back? Where BVD runner is now, I think this is a perfect hill to set up on it. At least keeping the outpost.
Alright,
keeping the eyes out to the left. Okay, looks like they're holding. Looks like they're holding. Okay. They're gonna try and hold this to low ground. They knew Russians came along the edge, and they're gonna hold that. I like that. Oh no, they're bounding back by buddy team. Still a good call to bound back by buddy team, but I really want them to hold their ground.
Over to deal contacts west northwest of you.
Hang on, say again.
Shift the rest of your squad to deal with the contacts west northwest of you. I'll have squad 4 watching the south and east flank.
Great line by Storm here.
2, yeah, just go firm up those rocks.
Copy. 4, if you can take a position that my fire team was in right there and
Go firm up on these rocks. So squad 2 is gonna hold this position. Great call by Dwarf to get these guys to stop falling back.
Copy that.
I don't know if that was Dwarf or Jive's call. I believe it was Dwarf's call.
I'll watch south. Southwest.
3, make sure you have guys looking.
Yeah, just keep an eye on south. Keep an eye on west. I'll look north.
I want them to push just a little further west. BBD runner, at least get somebody here. At least some guy here to at least catch them out in the open. You don't have to shoot back, you just need to be able to see them, but like look. Out in the open here.
Also expect contact here soon.
Let me get Burke and Emma start looking east. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but these guys here. Storm, that's command there. You had somebody here watching.
Last contact.
A little too far back. BBD run is the furthest west. Not gonna be able to see him. They're gonna wait for them to come up close. Get that CQB going. I guess it's not a bad idea.
And they may be moving to Juliet 5.
Is the background on this op a Russian force counterattacking the entrenched US position? Let me double check. I believe it's a US patrol. Yeah, it's a US patrol, and the Russians have spotted the patrol. So the US mission is your platoon's mission is to set up and operate in the valley beyond the Russian line to disrupt the flow of supplies being moved to the area to the ever advancing Russian front. Your platoon is almost at full strength and awaiting supply drops. And waiting for supply drop tonight, so the engineers attached to your platoon can place mines and explosives throughout the valley. Your platoon's mission tonight is to secure the supplies and establish a patrol base to operate out of. So the US have set up a base overnight, and they are waiting for the supplies to come in. They've got 2 supply drops. Both of them ended up on the south, and I think the rest were bad drops. The Russians are trying to regain or to eliminate the US foothold in the area.
Contact in Hotel 465.
Command is Stu, we are taking contact from our west.
Far side of the ridge from me.
Taking contact from the west. Who are they shooting at? Oh, there they go. Drive.
Rough, Hotel 492. A rough.
Go check out what squad 1 is doing. Okay.
They're moving right to left one.
I like this. Good crossfire from squad 1. You can see a lot of guys
They're
here,
just
I believe.
over that ridge where those tracers are going.
They're going to be able to see a lot of these guys if they try and peek up. Yep, you see one. Those guys are not going to be able to peek from this angle. It's going to limit the direction that the Russians are able to advance from. They just need squad 4 to hold their south flank. If not, the Russians are going to be able to... Where are you, Russians? There you go. The Russians are going to be able to just sneak right up onto squad 1. Atomic Peach is going to have to keep eyes out. Same with CNC, Cam Dog, Soldier Wolfie, and J-Cars and Jones. I think Atomic Peach spots this guy, though, Donut Joe.
Did you scare him off?
Negative. Contact seems to be holding Hotel 495. They took some shots at us, no effect.
We've contact southwest west.
Where?
Atomic Peach went down. Sugarheart goes down.
It's on its southwest of squad.
Squad 4 not watching that south flank.
Sugar's down. Taking shots at close west.
Okay. Don't let him push your shit in. You get hit. Okay. Sonny, don't get killed. Pull back. Pull back. Sonny, don't get yourself killed.
Sonny's getting a little too aggressive for Dwarf's liking. Tell him to pull back. No point in doing this. I think they need to hold their ground though. They're overestimating how much forces are on the south, and that's gonna force them to run across this street and probably get cut down from these guys on the west. Oh, 2 down almost immediately. Oh no, BVD. Yeah, BVD run's gonna bleed out. Yeah. So they eventually pushed up. But I think they pushed up after the Russians were in position. If they had been in position beforehand, that would have been more ideal. But they're just getting picked apart. US 7 kills to the Russians 11. Whoever makes the operation briefing does a damn good job. That is correct. I am of the same opinion, Eccentric, and it is all thanks to Xbits. Xbits is a great mission designer who took up the mantle after Hutch left the team. And Hutch did a lot of great missions for us, and we actually still use a lot of Hutch's missions. But in the recent months, and about going on a year now, I want to say, Xbit. He's been designing all of our missions.
Two, you're in charge of the fob itself.
Copy.
I'll stand with you.
Dorf, be advised, if we have contacts at India 4, 9, they will have fishbowl on 1 and 4.
I'm aware.
4, can you get our...
Ryan in position B. Coming in. Russians are slowly getting pushed back. Squads 1 and Squads 4 have fallen off of this hill. They're taking up positions in the town. I like this call. Maybe oversaturating the area just a bit. I'd like to see some more defenses on the west, because these squads are not going to be effective dealing with anybody who comes from their west.
Crossing.
Yo, money coming me over here.
I'd like to see some more guys on the northwest. Like Dwarf and Nasty Nate are the only ones over here. He sees them. Definitely sees them. Not kill anybody.
Have we heard anything about the vehicle?
No, don't worry about the vehicle. It's probably not here.
Okay.
Oh, look at that headshot. Head. Just lobbed that round over there. Great shot by Dwarf. But Assault Squad is moving in underneath them, and it's going to get very hard for him to get easy shots from here on out.
Did you see the guy at Riverbank?
Negative. I'm shooting 226. They're top of the hill. Southwest.
Okay.
Drive Guerrillas taking charge of Squad 2. They're just trying to pick off who they can. I just don't think they have enough defenses here on the west.
They're on the rock too, near the riverbank.
Yeah, they need to reposition some of these guys on the... Maybe pull Squad 4 around from the east and swing up here.
We got 3 more pushes towards the river.
Okay.
Maybe a grenade. I think some key grenades are gonna be game changers.
India 4-9.
Don't peek this dwarf. Greedy for information. This is just getting greedy right here. Gonna get shot in the face for it. Yeah. Dwarf is getting a little too greedy for information. I'd like to see him to pull back and just maintain control over the platoon. Maybe pulling up Hero to take his position, maybe even pulling up Drive Gorilla. The thing is, he doesn't have binoculars. But Hero pulling up to take... Drive, pushing the riverbank. They spotted this. Dwarf don't do it. You're gonna get shot in the face. Dwarf takes out Revy.
Fall back if you have to. I'd rather die.
Yeah, get
I'm just an
coverage on
FTL,
this-
so.
Coverage up here.
Great call by Jive. Telling him to fall back if you have to. You can't die, Dwarf. You need to maintain control of the squad. Yeah, Terex, a hallelujah grenade here. Grenade here. I think this is in grenade range. Because they're downhill, I think a grenade here... Oh, see that? Throwing a grenade uphill is not going to work, but I think a grenade would be... Oh, actually, it's pretty far. Maybe Swag Daddy just... Yeah, Jive just tossed a grenade. We'll see where it lands. Oh, okay. So the furthest the grenade's going to reach is about here. Maybe they aren't in grenade range. I felt like they should have been in grenade range. But I guess not. Jive Gorilla throws another grenade. Maybe if he had tossed it from the maybe if he tossed it from the rock, it might have made it. But from the angle he's trying to toss it from, it's not gonna work. Jive Gorilla's in a really good spot, but he needs to get reinforced soon because it's him alone. Looks like Pipe Funk is moving in to help. Squad 3 is moving in to help. This is great maneuver by Squad 3 to reinforce this area. To see where the rest of the Squad 3 is moving into to reinforce Squad 2. I like this, but it might just be too late with the aggressiveness of Squad 4 for the Russians are presenting. They've already almost reached the top of this hill. If Jive had any grenades now, it would be the time, but I believe he used both of his grenades. Jive's gonna get run up on by Swag Daddy Juice. Nope, turns the corner just in time. Pipe Funk, you're in position to see this. Crawling away too. Swag is holding this rock on his own, and he's about to be encircled. Takes out one, gets shot in the back. Dwarf is gonna go down, he thinks. Squad 3 just wasn't fast enough to get it into position. Swag Daddy just goes down to Pipe Funk. Pipe Funk, you got a grenade, now's the time. Grenade goes out, doesn't take anybody. Squad 3 needs to reinforce here. Squad 3 is pushed back down, unsure why. But yeah, they need to hold this line here. Of the Logi. Oh. Okay, Squad 2 is pushing in. This is irrelevant, I think. You guys is irrelevant to the main push here on the west. Kills are exactly even, 15 on 15.
We got guys flanking direct south of 1. They're moving east.
Don't get baited, Dwarf. Don't get baited, Dwarf. You know that the majority of these guys are on the west. He's pulling guys off. He doesn't need to. Pipe Funk's in a really nice spot. Takes out lawn darts. Oh, grenade lands on his face, though, from Silent, I believe. Pipe Funk goes down. Some dogs here. Let's swing around POVs. Let's check out what the Russians are trying to do. They're about to clear out the immediate area, I believe. Dwarf's about to get up on. Where's Dwarf? There's Dwarf.
Contacts are on one side of the road.
And they're actually holding their position a little nicer than I expected. Carzan Jones takes out Ghost, gets taken out in response. Yeah, I think he got baited just a little bit. Got baited just a little bit and held too many guys here on the south. For, what, maybe 3 guys? Maybe 4 guys? Unnecessary. They had enough guys in hard positions to hold this. They needed more guys here on the west. Squad 4 is in a very solid position. Squad 4 for the Russians are in a very solid position, and it's allowing them to just mow down U.S. forces as they try and reposition to deal with the guys on the west. 19 on 20. Still very, very close, though. It's all about who can shoot better in the CQB environment.
There's a lot of guys up there.
Yeah, the rest of the squad got picked up, making it over here.
Squad over here is in a very good spot too. Bybee goes to get taken out by Blaze Bond. Bondi? Bond? Still anyone's game. Let's get an exact number of guys left. Oh, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 11 Russians to about 11 US. 11 on 11. We got about a squad on a squad. Maybe a little bit more. The US still have their command. The Russians do not have their command, and that could be the difference. When you have the original command lead up, platoon lead up, it allows them to be a little more cohesive in their decision making and keeping his guys on targets. They've got a lot on a lot of barbed wire to get through still. I just saw all this barbed wire. We've got strike, E-strike pushing up, but barbed wire they gotta push through. Sebiv is gonna go down. Too late to fall back now, Sebiv. Where you at? There you are. Got a lot of deflate. He's gonna move back to some. Okay, okay. Whoa. And yeah, that tied up really quick. It's actually been tied up for a majority of it. A majority of this game, I feel. The U.S. may have had the upper hand at one point, but I feel like for the most part, the Russians have managed to keep it. 24 on 21. U.S. pull ahead slightly.
So good. Next to us?
Yeah, maybe mine west.
I don't
Next to
see
you,
anyone.
indeed. Assault's gonna toss a grenade here. I want to see Assault toss a grenade here. Gonna keep his face in the dirt. He saw CNC.
I think we would have seen him.
They don't realize how close this guy is.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
he's right next to
I'm hit. 300, I guess.
Yeah,
He's on top
Hero,
of
he's
the
right
hill.
here.
Not great information from the CNC. He needed to give him an exact distance.
He was not very far. He was on.
He's right here.
There he
He's a
goes.
squad leader.
There's one to my west somewhere. I don't know.
300. Tarek say I don't think he was talking about direction, like azimuth direction. I don't think he was saying 300 meters, because that would be just a slight overestimation of how close he was. But he didn't give the relevant information of how close he was. He should have like 300 close, 300 really close, 300 really fucking close, because he was like within like 10 meters of him by the time he got it. Sunny and Chonka aren't doing too much use here anymore. I think they need to pull off and reapproach. Actually, I lied. That's a complete lie, bold-faced lie. I'm sorry, Sunny. They were able to shoot these guys on the downslope. Yeah, they were able to shoot these guys on the downslope, effectively pinning down 3 guys with just 1 rifle. Russians are getting picked apart here as they try and swing in. They're not sure what they want to do. Yeah, Dogan, Ryu go down. You mean Sethcon and Kakai. Shooting at Sunny.
J72 around those rocks, north of the rocks, west of Chairman.
All right. Good grid. I was about to judge him if he couldn't give an accurate grid representation on that, but J472 is almost perfect. The J73 peeking into it, but yeah. Great call by them. I don't think he needs to flank. I think he just needs to hold them there. Make sure they can't remaneuver. Oh, what a shot.
I still have eyes on the radio. I can tell you if it goes down or not. I'd say just hide down there, and then
You got 1, 2, 3 Russians. Yep, 3 Russians left against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 US. So in the past couple minutes, US has only lost 1 member, and that was Dwarf. Dwarf had gone down. I'm not sure to what. Maybe to PvP Nordyland, or this infantryman who had just gone down to Sebili. Or Sebiv. They're also now shooting at Nordyland. Yep, Dwarf has gone down. But they've got Bump is actually a pretty competent leader. Or hero. Hero's actually a pretty competent leader. So I don't expect them to get too bogged down, or and there's only about a squad left, so I don't expect the command structure to completely fall apart at this point. Dwarf has done his job, and I'm getting word from a BVD Zag. Nordy took him down with 1 shot from this hill. I'm not sure what Nordy's gonna be able to do here, though. It's him and one other, him and Sethcon. Sethcon is not even worried about the radio. He's worried about Sunny here shooting him in the ass. Lord Chonka doing the same. So Sethcon's effectively out of this game. Going to be Nordyland to try and pull it together. Let's see if Nordyland can pull a storm and take these guys out. Where you at, Nordyland? You are. It's going to be a lot harder because Storm was on defense at the time. So Storm just had to lay there and let them come to him. He's got to be a little more aggressive to try and push in and clear out that radio. He's going to get flanked here soon. Maybe? No. I wouldn't expect anybody to start maneuvering at this point.
I haven't heard anyone close to me. I got the one guy who was pretty close. He's 330 in my position. Yeah. I would expect him to be close.
Oh, and he's an MG too, so it's going to be very hard to hit fire this. I guess he's going to be able to spot him if he crests this hill. Yep. Can you get the 1-tap? Even looking CNC? Yeah, bad. They never took the MTOB. They elected not to use the MTOB. PNC gets shot in the side. He was expecting them up this hill. That's where he shot at.
Where are you up?
Take him out there.
Here, me and Shanka are gonna wrap.
Last man standing is Sethcon here.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Copy. To I-4.
Duck.
I-469. They're close to my northwest. I know that.
Close to your northwest is dead. The last man standing for the Russians. Can he do it? There's somebody. We're on the same rock as him. The chairman. Look at that. What are you gonna do? Sunny and Shanka are gonna take a wide flank here. Angle. Go. Airman. Taken out by Sethcon.
Alright, we got guys at Chairman's body.
Unfortunate for Sethcon, didn't get to play that one out. I think Bam thought that that SethCon had died. But I don't think he was going to be able to do much anyway. He was on the offense. Sonny and Lord Chonka were going to close in on his position, and there's another squad of infantrymen there. Then there's another squad of infantrymen there.
Oh, I didn't kill anyone.
Unfortunate. So, but great job on the US for this defense. They're a little too fluid, in my opinion. They could have held some spots a little bit longer. But they did a pretty good job pulling back when they needed to, and picking off, especially Sonny's squad with that flank. I'm not sure Sonny was. I don't think Sonny was a squad lead, but I can't remember the squad lead at the time. But great job for both teams. US took it both times, so both squads won. And if you're interested in participating in these events, you should check us out, squadops.gg. From there, you can sign up on our on the calendar for our basic training course, and then you can participate in any and all of our Squad Ops events from there. If you liked what you saw and you want to continue watching and get notifications, give us a follow at twitch.tv/SquadOps, and we put up our VODs at youtube.com/SquadOps. As soon as they are ready to go live, I usually make them public, and from there you can view any and all of our productions. But I was your commentator for evening, Shadowed Ritual. Thank you for our event team for making things run so smoothly, and thank you for our commands for making the event run smoothly, and thank you for all of the public players who join our events and make these events possible. With that, we will catch you on Saturday for our next 2 events. If you would like to see when those are, check us out, squadops.gg.